What would 10-year-old you think of you now?
Where's the time gone? And also, like, it seems at certain stages of life, it seems like it's going by really quickly, and others it's like, okay, this isn't what you expected.
Yeah. So, would you like who you are now? Would 10-year-old you like who you are now?
Yes.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you think 10-year-old you would like about you?
Just the different experiences and not losing the ability or the want to of having new experiences
Yeah?
versus, okay, I'm almost 30,
Yeah.
let's just get this over with or whatever.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Never lose that.
Uh-huh.
When people lose that, they kind of die inside.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That's what keeps everybody alive, I think.
Absolutely. So, tell me, what's your story? What makes you who you are?
Disabled since birth. So kind of just always had the outlook on life of, okay, anything is possible. It may have to be done in a different way, but anything is possible.
Yeah.
And so just try to find the happiness instead of focusing on the,
Yeah.
because there's always somebody who could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like a pretty happy person,
Right.
from what I can tell.
Mhm.
So, what's an example of something that you have found a different solution to?
It's mainly just accessibility of trying to figure out, okay, I don't drive, so either Uber or,
Yeah.
you know, a bus that's going to take you an hour and a half instead of getting you straight to,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
But yeah,
yeah.
something like that. And
But taking the bus, you can smell the flowers a little bit more. You know, take the time to see
right,
the people
right.
and
As long as
yeah.
they drop you off in the right places.
Yeah.
Well, because it's mainly one of those things of, okay, I could take the bus, but it's going to drop me off across the street of where I need to go.
Yeah.
Versus an Uber, you know, they'll
Yeah.
straight up to,
Yeah.
yeah.
But Ubers cost more.
Yeah, very true. But it's also that, it's like, okay, you can't go another 100 feet around the side of the building instead of, nope, we stay right on the,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
how many wheelchair accessible Ubers are there?
I have a manual, so I usually normally use those, but even sometimes there's not ones that'll be able to fit into the trunk or in the back seat or whatever.
Yeah.
But I always have to put on there, you know, like manual wheelchair, hand transfer.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to, you know, find a,
Yeah.
but I feel like Uber is, oh, it's whatever they drive is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Uber have any kind of like accommodation for that or anything? Like you can put in, you know, I'm in a wheelchair or whatever.
Yeah, they do have a, or maybe it's Lyft. One of them
Okay.
does and one of them doesn't, but there's something in there that allows you to tell the driver, hey, I'm disabled.
Okay.
And so, and most of them are pretty good. Or they just send the ride to somebody else and, you know, but
Yeah.
that's still one of those things where I'm like, all right, this works, but, you know, may not always the smoothest
Yeah.
ever.
So how has being disabled challenged you in your life?
Other than like the positive outlook, it's just trying to do as much as possible, you know, and trying to enjoy
Yeah.
whatever I can, and also thinking about, okay, what could be worse, and also, you know, seeing things from different perspective has always helped, you know, somebody like with cerebral palsy or something like that
Yeah.
compared to, but also it's using what I already have, so like communication skills or,
Yeah.
you know, personality.
You seem pretty charismatic.
Yeah.
So how do you use those skills in your day-to-day life?
Just getting to know people, or, you know, finding new activities that I can do,
Yeah.
you know, just to enjoy whatever is there, but then also try to challenge myself on,
Yeah.
okay, here's something new that you may not have tried.
Yeah. It's
You know.
and that goes for anybody, you know. It's what you do with what you have.
Right. But I also count it a blessing that it's been from birth instead of, you know, 16, 17-year-old athlete,
Yeah, and then you
car accident, being told you'll never walk again.
Yeah, that would hit like a ton of bricks
Yeah.
for sure. So, have you ever been treated poorly because of your disability?
Oh, I've always been fortunate to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of curiosity, but that's a whole lot easier. I feel like to deal
Oh
with.
yeah.
Even though my understanding of the condition has always been higher, so explaining that to a 7-year-old is not always the easiest thing. It's like, even when
Yeah.
I was 9, I'm like, okay, how do I do this in something other than,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, did you have a pretty good family who was able to help you with managing your disability, or?
Yeah, it was pretty good. They adopted a whole slew of disabled children, whether it was physical
Okay.
or,
So they're used to it.
yeah, so they were used to it by the time I came around.
Yeah.
But it was also interesting of, I guess, their background. Dad's a retired paramedic and mom was a social worker, so
Yeah.
it's kind of,
Okay.
I guess, in the DNA. You know, it's one of those, I guess you're either called to be it or you're, you know,
Yeah.
or you fail or you're not, you know.
Yeah. I think everybody could stand to force themselves to be a little bit more just caring about people in general, though.
Right. I do. And I also feel like, okay, you're fortunate to get them as babies, you know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, you know, for the foster system, I can't imagine it being, you know, 16 and being like, oh, okay, well, I'm only going to be here for a month, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the foster system's messy.
Yeah.
So, what's something that you think the world needs to hear?
Anything is possible. I feel like doesn't matter what challenges you have, you can do something. It may be a little more difficult, but
Yeah.
if you have a passion for it, you'll find a way.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Right. And there's always something to be happy about in most circumstances.
Yeah.
We all have light and darknesses, you
Yeah.
know.
What do you focus on, you know?
Right.
Do you want to be happy and enjoy the good things, or do you want to focus on the bad things and the things you don't have?
Right, but I also feel like some people get happiness out of misery.
That's true, and that's an
As
interesting.
an, oh, poor me, you know, or
Yeah.
you know.
That's an interesting
Whatever.
one for sure. It's feeling sorry for themselves.
Yeah, feeling sorry for themselves, which it can happen in waves, but I mean,
Yeah.
not staying there too long and enjoying.
Yeah.
It's almost like they enjoy the misery.
I feel like that comes from a place of that was at some point in their life, that was the only, probably as a child, the only joy they could find was feeling sorry for themselves because they didn't get enough attention.
Yeah,
then
it's
they-
okay.
yeah.
They're not giving me the attention that I need. I'm
Yeah.
gonna, you know.
But there's always a better way.
Yeah, but there's always a better way. But then again, I also think you can overcome how you were raised, but also I feel like that's what kind of grounds you until you
Yeah.
decide, hey, this has got to change. This
Yeah.
can't continue with me.
Yeah, kids only have so much control over their life, but as soon as
Right.
you're an independent adult, you're responsible for who you are.
Right.
Your past may make some things harder,
Yes.
but you have the choice to overcome those obstacles.
Right. And some things are always with you, but,
Yeah,
you know, I feel like
for sure.
small steps to get overcome or at least be able to manage whatever traumas were in your past.
Yeah. Is there anything about your childhood that you struggle to overcome?
It was kind of understanding of, okay, responsibilities of, like, for instance, because I was like the second oldest, I was ended up babysitting
Yeah.
all the rest of them. But then again, I think that kind of gives me a better understanding, and it also was great birth control.
Yeah.
You know, just a better understanding of how different people communicate, and also, okay,
Yeah.
this is kind of use this as kind of a stepping stone and a way of learning how to deal with certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had disabled siblings. Do you
yes.
still stay in touch with them?
Yes.
Awesome. How many?
Let's see. Let's see. Probably about 7 are disabled in some way or another.
Yeah.
Whether it's anything from diabetes to
That's a handful.
yeah.
And I can't imagine how much time that has to take as a parent.
Right. That's why I'm like, oh, you're still doing this at this age.
It's impressive.
Yeah, which I guess is always, as I got older, I realized, okay, you're the grounded one, so you've got to be the one so that's why they're leaving the
Yeah.
3 siblings with you. I just can't imagine what it would have been like to have all of them at once
Yeah.
in the home. I was kind of, like closer to the end of their adoption
Yeah.
story, I guess, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they both had full-time jobs from the sound of it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time I came along, they were kind of, part-time or retired or kind of.
Okay.
It's one of those people that has gone back to work several times, just like, okay, I'm getting bored. I've retired, but
Yeah.
yeah, keep going. So
Yeah. Makes
plus,
sense.
it's also kind of inspiring, to see how that. I feel like their
Yeah.
career paths, so to speak, is kind of shaped.
So what do you do
what?
for a living?
I'm trying to get hired as a medical receptionist or a medical
Okay.
billing encoder. So
Okay.
currently not working. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you between jobs, or would this be your first?
Between jobs, because
Okay.
the last job I had was when I was 18, and it was a summer job of supervising kids with disabilities,
Okay.
like a day program, but
Yeah.
it's for kids with disabilities.
So, how hard is it for you to find a job?
Good question. I would say the main thing is of what I'm experiencing is hardly any experience. They want somebody, with 5 to 10 years experience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm only 28. How do I
Yeah.
give,
Yeah, I know.
And then also it's kind of that, okay, part-time, you have to give me a chance in order to say that I have experience or,
Exactly. Oh, beginner position requirements: 3 years experience. Like, what the
Right,
hell?
right. How can I do this, and so it's almost like, all right, disability or flipping burgers.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like some of the problems with that is for every couple of hours they work, they take off, a couple of dollars of your check for
Yeah.
what you get. So I'm like, all right, it's almost more profitable just to sit at home and have no job at all.
Yeah. It's
Than to-
not good for your psyche, though.
No. I mean, which is why I always try to find like activities. But
Yeah.
yeah, it would be nice if I could have something. I just don't want to work from home, which is probably what everybody wants to hire right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think that's another thing that COVID did was
Yeah, it did.
trying to do classes that way was awful.
Oh, I can imagine.
My last couple of semesters were
I
just all online.
I never had to do online college. That sounds absolutely impossible for me. to be
Yeah,
honest.
I took a 6-month break, but they were like, well, if you want financial aid to pay for this, you've got to come back within 6 months or whatever. They gave me a deadline, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I guess I have to fail a couple of classes and then, retake them and finally
Yeah.
get it. But trying to pace yourself, because you're basically teaching yourself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not one of those people who can take in a new skill, like what I was doing, like medical billing and coding, when it's just an hour of somebody talking to me and expecting me to figure out, okay,
Yeah.
I would have been better, had it been like, okay, come in for 2 or 3 hours a day, have your mask on or whatever, and you actually can have one-on-one help instead of have this done by Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everybody has something to teach or to contribute to others, and also you can learn from something.
Yeah.
What somebody else might have is something that you need to hear versus, and vice versa.